Hey guys, you ever hear about Live for Love TV? I want you to like, share and subscribe. Check it out, it's a bomb.
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 28th day of the 6th month of the 24th year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing extremely well out there. Now, as you can see, I'm under a breadfruit tree trying to get some shade, hoping I don't get too much mosquito bites today. Anyway, the reason for this video today is about the presidential debate that was held in the United States of America yesterday. I watched it from start to finish. I don't watch a lot of debates, but when it comes to the presidential debate or whoever's president, at least at the beginning I have to know, who they are. Why? Well, the reason is that the president of America in 1945 is the only living human being that's ever dropped a nuclear bomb on this planet that we live on. And that's the kind of power that these people wield. So I think it's important that you know who's the president at any given time. Watching the debate yesterday was very interesting. I mean, you're gonna know some of the stuff I'm gonna say, but some of the stuff you certainly won't know. For instance, there was two geriatrics, and they were geriatrics. They were not just old people; they were geriatrics on stage, fighting for the president's seat. That in itself is quite sad, but that's what it is, and that's for America, as they say, to decide. But here comes the main issue now, is the condition of the two men, and that's why I call them geriatrics, because Mr. Trump, you can see that he's lost whatever he had. He's lost it. He rambles a lot, he goes around a lot, says the same things. And I noticed that literally, if they asked him 10 questions, he answered 1 out of the 10. And they let him get away with that, but that's their business. He didn't answer the questions, he just kept hitting strikes at Joe Biden. Joe Biden, now, this is the most amazing thing, is the current president right now. And when I was watching it, I wasn't sure when I was watching it if he was actually having a stroke or he's already had a stroke. And if he hasn't had a stroke, then he's the greatest actor in the world. Because I've seen people who've had strokes. I've gone to visit them in their recovery, and I've gone to visit them, over time. And he was the dead stamp of people I know who have had strokes. Maybe not the day after they've had a stroke, maybe not the week after, but in months to come, that's normally how they perform and how they behave. It was absolutely unbelievable to see this man standing up there and talking about he's the best man for the job. I mean, we need to really check ourselves across the planet. I know many of you may not be Americans. Many of you will be outside of America. But as I mentioned about 1945 and the nuclear bomb, America is an interest to everybody who lives on the planet. And if it's not an interest to you, you don't really understand how the planet works. To this day, they have the greatest military arsenal in the world. And that has to be something that will concern anybody, especially if it's in the hands of geriatrics, like these two people. If you watch the debate, if it was a debate, it got to the point where one man was accusing the other man of having a handicap on the golf course that was of no purpose, a terrible handicap. Now, what does your handicap on a golf course have to do with your ability to be a president? And if the fact that you can't hit a golf ball 50 yards, how does that become an issue? This is to show you the level that these two old age pensioners have sunk to. They really don't understand what time and what date it is. And I'm younger than them. But if I was a younger person than I am today, I'd be seriously concerned. Because how can the most powerful man in the world be talking about golf strings and who can hit the ball further? How does that enter a presidential debate and be taken seriously by the people who are asking the questions? Because remember, these people, whether it's CNN or whoever they were, they're asking questions. And they want us to take them seriously as well. If I was asking questions of these two people, the first I'd ask is, what has your golf swing got to do with your presidency? I know he was trying to make the point that the guy's not fit for the job, but neither of them are fit for the job. You could see it clearly last night. There should be a cut-off age limit. Even though there will be people of their age who are more competent than they are, there should still be a cut-off age limit when it comes to this type of job. I mean, okay, maybe you're going to have more years behind you than in front of you when you go to be a president. That may happen, but not the fact that you've almost got no years in front of you. I mean, how many years do these two men have to become president? Can anybody look at them and say, well, for sure they're gonna last out the next 4 years? I'm talking about just by their own condition that they look like they're in. It's unbelievable things going on in the United States of America. And as I said to you already, it's damning on the whole world, because nobody can do anything without America getting involved. That's the way the planet works, and that's the way the world is. So it's damning on the planet. But there's a bigger problem to me, and it's the only reason I've actually really decided to talk about this, was Americans now, after last night, it's clear that they have a choice between the devil and the deep blue sea. And you can look up what that means if you don't know. I'm sure you know. Almost no choice, right? It's no choice. Because for me, from what I can see, if you vote for one man, one of those two men, it's almost certain civil war in the United States of America. Almost certain civil war. If you vote for the other man, it's almost certain world war in the near future. That's my view. And that's why I say you've got a choice between the devil and the deep blue sea. Because for me, one of them hasn't got a handle on the way the world politics goes. He's beyond, he just doesn't know what time it is. And he's just not strong. And you can't have someone like that when you've got, Putin, even at his old age, riding horses. You've got all these other leaders looking at him and thinking to themselves, look at that guy. It looks like he's falling asleep while he's actually debating. In the middle of a debate, it looks like he needs to take a nap. Unbelievable. And anybody in the world is going to be concerned about him. So one is, as far as I said, could lead us into a world war. Literally sleepwalking into a world war. And the other one, with his behavior with the American public and with certain sections of the American public, it looks like he's leading people the Americans towards a civil war. Almost no choice. I mean, there's a third choice, I suppose. There's a Kennedy out there and somebody else. So maybe there's a third choice, and maybe there is a back door. Maybe there is a way out. I don't know what it is. I'm concerned not just for Americans, but for the whole of us, every one of us that live on this planet. You can't just laugh at these things and say, well, are just politics. And we've seen it before. There's wars going all over the place. And any of these wars that are currently going on now could lead to people taking sides. You can see it. And that's what a world war is. One man takes this side, other one takes this side, one takes this side, and before you know it, it's like what we used to do when we were children. We used to play football. You pick one, I pick one. You pick one, I pick one, until there's nobody left. That's exactly how world wars start. That's how they come about. And we look like we're at the brink of it, to me. And can you believe it? Maybe the only way out of it is a civil war. Take a think about what I just said. Take care. Live for Love TV.
Like, share, subscribe to Live for Love TV.